Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. This video is titled Roses Are Black. The painting is part of a series I've been working on called Inked Maidens. In this series I'm exploring the evolution and perceptions of beauty over time. The idea for this series developed over a period of months sitting and people watching as I'd have a coffee at some of the local bars in the cute little city I live in Spain. I noticed that nearly every young woman that walked past, and even many that served in the bars, were tattooed. Although tattoos have a very long and rich history, over the last few decades they have become far more mainstream and acceptable. So of course I felt a creative need to try introduce and express this in my work. Exploring beauty through the lens of tattoos has allowed me to delve into the intersection of tradition, personal expression, and societal norms. I begin, as always, with the eyes, a ritual of artistic reverence. The eyes, for me, transcend mere features. They are the soulful nucleus of portraiture paintings. Each stroke, as I block in the initial shapes and shades, is a deliberate act of capturing not just the physical likeness, but the essence of the subject. The eyes, being the focal point, hold the power to evoke a myriad of emotions. In my artistic philosophy, eyes are the conduit to the subject's inner world. They are a profound portal inviting viewers to peer into the depth of the portrayed person's being. It's more than a representation. It's an invitation to engage with the artwork on a visceral level. Sorry, I got a little carried away talking about the importance of the eyes for me. But now let's move on to the skin tones. I began by choosing the primary colors that make up the base skin tone. Skin is rarely a flat, uniform color, so consider factors like undertones, lighting conditions, and the overall mood of the painting. For instance, you might use a combination of warm tones, reds, yellows, and cool tones, blues, greens, to create a nuanced and realistic skin color. At this stage, don't worry too much about details. Focus on covering the broader regions where the skin is visible. Identify the primary light source in your composition. Light and shadow play a pivotal role in creating the illusion of three-dimensional form. Apply lighter tones to areas directly hit by light and darker tones to areas in shadow. As you can see, I've moved on to the scarf and the application of its undertones. At this stage it will still appear flat, but I'll add enough variations in the tones to give me a base structure of its form for the layers to come once I start refining. I'm coming close to finishing the blocking stage of the painting. During this stage of the painting, my mind was busy building up to-do lists, breaking down areas that will require different approaches, and the order of the coming layers of paint. Although you need to have a grasp of your approach to each painting from the start, you need to keep adapting as the painting talks to you and tells you what's required going forward. It is an ongoing conversation that eases your workflow. And here we go with the first pass of the refinement of the skin tones, starting with the eye area once again. Before embarking on this stage of my artistic process, I allocated a considerable amount of time to meticulously scrutinize the current state of my blocked-in portrait. This preliminary phase allowed me to delve into the intricacies of the composition, enabling me to identify and map out the major areas of light and shadow. Concurrently, I conducted a comprehensive evaluation of the overall color palette, seeking a harmonious balance that would bring my subject to life. During this thoughtful examination, I conscientiously took mental notes of specific areas that demanded heightened refinement or subtle adjustments. Acutely aware of the nuanced undertones present in the skin, I made a mental inventory of the variations that would require careful consideration in the subsequent stages of my creative process. Equipped with this prelude of observation and analysis, I had already taken proactive measures in the form of pre-mixing a selection of smooth, warm, and cool tones on my palette. This preparatory step not only streamlined the subsequent painting process, but also laid the groundwork for achieving the desired depth and complexity in the portrayal of skin tones. My approach to the actual application of paint involves a deliberate layering technique. I initiate the process by delicately applying thin layers of paint, commencing with the mid-tones to establish a foundational base. This gradual layering technique serves as the cornerstone for building up subsequent layers, each contributing to the overarching objective of imbuing the portrait with a sense of depth and visual complexity. While a casual observer might perceive my frenetic pace in the sped-up capturing of this video, it is important to note that, in reality, I adhere to a methodical rhythm. Between each layer, I exercise patience, allowing ample time for the paint to dry before introducing the next layer. This deliberate cadence ensures that each addition to the canvas is met with a receptive surface, fostering a seamless progression toward the final, refined rendition of my artistic vision. In this crucial phase of my artistic process, my primary focus lies in the meticulous refinement of highlights and shadows within the portrait. It demands a keen observation of how light gracefully interacts with the contours of the skin, prompting me to strategically enhance the luminosity by adding highlights to areas that are most prominently kissed by light. Simultaneously, I delve into the intricacies of shadow, deepening those areas that reside in the subtle embrace of less light. My challenge lies not only in recognizing these pivotal areas, but in seamlessly integrating them into the existing canvas. This involves a delicate dance of brushes, where I meticulously blend the newly applied highlights and deepened shadows with the underlying paint. Conscious of the varied textures inherent in the skin, I adapt my brushwork to suit the surface intricacies, utilizing softer brushes for blending across smoother expanses and employing smaller, more detailed brushes to capture the nuanced texture of specific features. A crucial aspect of this refinement process involves introducing subtle variations in color, a technique employed to mimic the inherent complexity of natural skin tones. I navigate through a palette of colors with a discerning eye, infusing hints of reds, blues, and yellows into specific regions such as the cheeks, lips, and forehead. This strategic introduction of underlying hues serves to evoke a lifelike quality. As you consistently engage in practicing the various techniques I've mentioned, you'll find that the seamless integration of these skills into your creative process becomes increasingly natural. The rhythmic flow of a practiced painter lost in the strokes of their brush is our goal. The more you immerse yourself in these methods, the more effortlessly they become part of your artistic repertoire. With dedicated practice, your artistic endeavors will transition from a deliberate and conscious effort to a state of instinctive, automatic expression, much akin to entering a meditative realm. When I embark on the act of painting, I find myself seamlessly transitioning into a state of automatic flow. In this almost meditative trance, the boundaries between the artist and the canvas blur, allowing creativity to manifest organically, and the process itself becomes a harmonious dance of intuition and skill. Thanks for joining me as we wrap up part 1 of this YouTube edit. Stay tuned because part 2 will be dropping soon. Make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any updates. And if you're eager for more exclusive content, head over to my Patreon channel where you can access unedited versions of all my videos. You can find all the links you need in the video credits and in my bio. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and drop your questions in the comments below. Happy creativity to all. I'll catch you in the next one.